Welcome on the bold topics, and I am Anand Mai. Ambedkar's views on social justice. According to B.R. Ambedkar, social justice is a means to create an ideal or a just society. To him, a just society is casteless society based on the principle of social justice and a combination of three components: liberty, equality, and fraternity. Ambedkar's ideal society is based upon two fundamental principles. The first is that the individual is an end in himself, and that the aim and object of society is the growth of the individual and development of his personality. Society is not above the individual, and if the individual has to subordinate himself to society, it is because such subordination is for his betterment and only to the extent necessary. The second essential is that the terms of associated life between members of society must be regarded by consideration founded on liberty, equality, and fraternity. James Massey writes that in Ambedkar's views, a caste-based society gives no place to an individual, whereas in Ambedkar's proposed society, individual is the final end. In a caste-based society, a person's relationship with members of other classes is already fixed. But in the society envisioned by Ambedkar, relations have to be based on liberty, equality, and fraternity. Besides the two essential principles, one of the most important components of justice or the principle of justice, because for Ambedkar, the norm or the criterion for judging right and wrong in the modern society is justice. Justice, according to him, was simply another name for liberty, equality, and fraternity. Thus, the key components of Ambedkar's concept of social justice are liberty, equality, and fraternity. The first component is liberty. Ambedkar's quoting Lasky said that for liberty to be real, it must be accompanied by certain social conditions. Firstly, there should be social equality. Privilege title the balance of social action in favor of its possessors. The more equal are the social rights of citizens, the more able they are to utilize their freedom. If liberty is to move its appointed end, it is important that there should be equality. Secondly, there must be economic security. A man may be free to enter any vocation he may choose. Yet, if he is deprived of security in employment, he becomes a prey of mental and physical servitude incompatible with the very essence of liberty. The perpetual fear of the marrow, its haunting sense of impending disaster, its fitful search for happiness and beauty, which perpetually eludes, shows that without economic security, liberty is not worth having. Men will be free and yet remain unable to realize the purpose of freedom. Thirdly, knowledge must be made available to all individuals. In the modern complex world, man lives at his peril and must find his way in it without losing his freedom. There can, under these conditions, be no freedom that is worthwhile unless the mind is trained to use its freedom. The right of man to education becomes fundamental to his freedom. Deprive a man of knowledge, and you will make him inevitably the slave of judge more fortunate than himself. Deprivation of knowledge is a denial of the power to use liberty for great ends. An ignorant man may be free, but he cannot imply his freedom so as to give him assurance of happiness. So, Ambedkar believes that the three essential conditions that make liberty real were society, equality, economic equality, and access to knowledge. He believed that there can be no real liberty in ancient societies and under Hinduism because of the absence of these three conditions. The liberty. Ambedkar says the system of rank and graduation is simply another way of enunciating the principles of inequality so that it may be truly said that Hinduism does not recognize equality. It is to be noted that in ancient societies there is no equality because they are based on the principles of gradation and rank. The antique society as also Hinduism led to a degradation of human personality because of denial of social and religious equality. Ambedkar held that it with social justice, equality would be the mainstay of a modern society. The third component of social justice is fraternity. Ambedkar is talking about the importance of fraternity in a society, writes, there are two forces prevalent in society such as individualism and fraternity. Individualism is ever present. Every individual is ever asking, I and my neighbor, are we all brother, are we even 15th cousins? Am I their keeper? Why should I do right to them? And under the pressure of his own particular interest acting as though he was an end to himself, thereby developing a non-social and even an antisocial self. Fraternity is a force of opposite character. Fraternity is another name for fellow feeling. It consists in a sentiment which leads an individual to identify himself with the good of others, whereby the good of others becomes to him a thing naturally and necessary to be attended to like any of the physical conditions of our existence. It is because of this sentiment of fraternity that the individual does not bring himself to think of the rest of his fellow creatures as struggling rivals with him for the means of happiness, whom he must desire to see defeated in their object in order that he may succeed in his own. Individualism would produce anarchy. It is only fraternity which prevents it and helps to sustain the moral order among men. Ambedkar believes that it is only fraternity which prevents anarchy and helps to sustain the moral order among men. Individualism produces anarchy. Without fraternity, which is a very significant component of social justice, an ideal society is inconceivable. Therefore, according to Ambedkar, the core components of social justice are liberty, equality, and fraternity. Social justice means a complete change in the fundamental notion of individual life and a complete change in our outlook and attitude towards men and things. Ambedkar was fully aware of the pattern and problem of Indian society. Hence, Ambedkar's concept of social justice included unity and equality of all human beings, equal worth of men and women, respect for the weak and the lowly, regard for human rights, benevolence, mutual love, sympathy, tolerance, and charity towards fellow beings, human treatment in all cases, dignity of all citizens, abolition of caste distinction, education and property for all, and goodwill and gentleness. He emphasized more on fraternity and emotional integration. His view on social justice was to remove man-made inequalities of all sorts through law, morality and public consistence. He stood for justice for a sustainable society. According to Ambedkar, the root cause of social injustice to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes was the caste system in Hindu society. He observed that castes are in close units and it is their conspiracy with clear consistence that compels the excommunicated to make themselves into a caste. The logic of their obdurate circumstances, miracles, and it is in obedience to its force that some unfortunate groups find themselves closed out with the result that now groups by a mechanical law are constantly being converted into caste in a dwindling multiplicity. He further maintained that the root of untouchability was the caste system. The root of the caste system was religion. The root of the religion was attached to Varnashram. The root of the Varnashram was Brahmanism and lies in political power. Ambedkar's social vision is reflected in his own words as an economic system permitting exploitation without obligation, untouchability. It is not only a system of unmitigated economic exploitation, but it is also a system of uncontrolled economic exploitation. That is because there is no independent public opinion to condemn it, and there is no impartial machinery of administration to restrain it. There is no check for the police or the judiciary for the simple reason that they are all Hindus and take side of exploiters. B.R. Ambedkar was fully aware of the pitiable and pathetic condition and the low status of women in the Indian society. He tried to uplift women generally and Hindu women in particular. According to Ambedkar, women were treated as mere tools to bear the burdens of the family and were restricted to the role of bearing children and fulfilling duties of a wife or mother. Division of labor is not in their favor. As a result, Indian women have lost their identity. They have to face discrimination on the basis of gender, and because of this, equal opportunity remains a dream for them. They have to endure poverty, illiteracy, lack of health, inequality and powerlessness. Traditional attitudes regard them as physically, intellectually and social inferior to men and subject them to male exploitation and unjustified division of labor. Such a society where women, completing half of the population, have a low status come into being primarily due to the fact that women have no control over material and social resources. This is further compounded by lack of participation opportunities for women in the decision-making process for the family. The concept of social injustice is enshrined in the Indian Constitution. The fathers of the Indian Constitution had a dream of a new social, economic and political order, the soul of which was social justice. Ambedkar was the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. He was fully aware of the pattern and problems of the Indian society and the conflicting interests. The Constitution is a monumental example of social engineering. Social justice is not defined in the Indian societies. It is a relative concept taking in its wings the time and circumstances, the people and their backwardness, blood, sweat and tears. The constitutions of India brings a renaissance in the concept of social justice when it weaves the trinity of the preamble, the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policies. The trinity is the core of the commitments to the social revolution. Through social justice is not defined in the Constitution, the preamble, the directive principles of state policy and the fundamental rights clearly illustrate the philosophy of social justice. Social justice, according to a right, is a relative concept taking in its wings to time and circumstance, the people, their tradition and aspiration, their turmoil and torrent, their backwardness, blood, sweat and tears. Therefore, all these three sections are important for social transformation and reconstruction of the Indian society, which constitutes the gist of social justice. Ambedkar argued that social injustice alone could lead to social harmony, social stability and patriotic feelings of individuals in society.